Time Again, the conservative podcast that exposes the truth. Dale, your host, is happy to have you listening to the show. He will have a new episode twice a month on Saturdays. There may be bonus shows if the news warrants for it. Thank you for listening to him talk about what he believes to particularly important issues facing America today. He will spend most of his time talking about topics that have at first blush have nothing to do with today's news. However, he hopes you agree where the topics are important to each day. You can voice your disagreements or agreements on his comment section at the show's website, https://coffee-time-again.com, or email him at host@coffee-time-again.com. He does not do Twitter, so do not bother looking for him. Please keep your comments clean. He will have to remove all vulgar, name-calling, racist, hate comments, etc. You can disagree with him without being disagreeable. He has his cup, get yours. Here we go on today's journey.
Hello, welcome to Coffee Time Again, Exposing the Truth. Dale here with the fourth and fifth installment of the Bill of Rights, also known as the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. Today's show will cover the third, fourth, Fifth, and Sixth Amendments, all very important amendments, so get your coffee and sit back and enjoy the show. The Third Amendment. The Third Amendment reads as follows. No soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. During the Revolutionary War, British troops were housed in American homes without the owner consenting, forced to house and feed the soldiers is the reason for this amendment. While I have not seen nor heard of any attack by the left yet, that does not mean they do not have a target on it. With riots on the rise, natural disasters, major issues on the border, I can foresee a day the National Guard is called out and due to problems getting the supplies and someplace to stay. That is when this one comes into its own. In a future, I believe soon, civil war, this amendment will be forgotten, if we let it. I can see this happening all too easy. Which is the United States and who will be the enemy? In a civil war, both sides claim to be the legitimate government, and I would be bet that neither will pay any attention to this amendment if they needed to. I know that the U.S. Army did not do so during the Civil War. They just totally disregarded the Third Amendment in the South, which I know was a separate country, but we still have the Third Amendment, taking over plantations and forcing the owners to feed and house American troops. Do not believe it will not happen again. Fourth Amendment. The Fourth Amendment reads as follows. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Important information there. This one is under attack every day in the courts throughout the United States. The accused say their house was searched was unconstitutional. Usually they're wrong. However, sometimes the police, no matter what police from your local department to the FBI, the CIA, the IRS, etc., in fact, every department in the U.S. government has a police department. Universities have police departments. Your state has departments with police. I've seen cars marked in Denver, U.S. Post Office Police. All can go to a judge and get a search warrant. Let's face it, there are corrupt officers in every force in the world, and some are worse than others for corruption. And there are secret courts at the federal level. Some we know about, like the FISA court that was used illegally to wiretap the 2016 presidential campaign of President Trump and search through staff members' phones. It was a totally illegal FBI action instigated by and paid for by the DNC, Democratic National Committee, and the Clinton Foundation. Do I have any proof of this? Just read the news. Real news. And the former director of the FBI and several of his hirelings are about to be indicted by the Attorney General for their role in all the mess at the 2016 campaign. And there will be more. Most of the evidence comes from illegal warrants filed by the FBI in the FISA court. Side note, this is yet to happen 4 years later, and it's not happened yet. It ain't going to happen either, folks. It's not going to happen. The FBI even wiretapped a reporter for Fox News, and even more illegal and unconstitutional acts against him, blocked him from flying, reading his emails, a whole laundry list of acts. As we have seen, the Fourth Amendment is under the gun, so to speak. The left wants to have access to everything we do, including our time on the internet, keystroke by keystroke. I know that Microsoft has an algorithm that can record everything you type for anyone logged into their cloud or system. As I am now connected, I could be recorded even now. If a private company has one, you can bet your bottom dollar the U.S. government has one better. Which department uses it is anybody's guess, but the NSA for sure, the FBI, the CIA, maybe your local police has a copy. This is a total invasion of your right to privacy. Fifth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment reads as follows. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless upon a presentation or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia when in actual service in time of war or public danger. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. I'll get back to that one later. This one is under attack from several sides. The part about capital crime is a death penalty cause. Almost all states have banned or otherwise stopped the use of the death penalty. The few states that still use the death penalty have so many appeals that it can take more than 20 years from conviction and sentencing to execution. Texas is one state that uses the death penalty and has the highest rate of execution. Virginia is second on the list as of December 18, 2018. And that was a surprise to me that Virginia was number 2. There have been several members of the military charged with war crimes over the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. I'm hard put to blame the military for charging them. However, the charges, I believe, are going to be hard to prove. How do you tell a combatant from a civilian in a country that has no military uniforms for the most part? That was a problem in Vietnam 40, 50 years ago. And children are recruited and used as combatants in all 3 countries. In fact, they're conscripted and used in all the world. Children soldiers. What do you do when confronted by a child with an AK-47 loaded and aiming at you? I have no idea what I do. Well, I do. Well, every time the police confiscate money, cars, computers, houses, etc. from criminals and use them for public use, is in violation of the Constitution as they did not pay fair compensation for them. A clear act of anarchy to me. We are told they are sold at auction. However, you ever seen a police auction? There's nothing there but bicycles and junk cars. Anything that would be useful for them. We are told it is used to cut the budget for police and district attorney departments. I have never seen the police or any government agency cut their budget for any reason. Have you? Here we are at the final one, the Sixth Amendment, which reads as follows. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and causes of the accusation, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, and to have compulsory processes for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. Speedy trial, my butt. I know of one case took from 2014 to 2016 to come to trial, and as they say, this was an open and shut case. The guy was guilty of sin, and he knew it. And this is fast, considering the others can take 10 years or more. And the police and district attorney office call it, we are still investigating. What does that mean anyway? Then there is Assistance of Counsel for his defense. Yes, public defenders, or as they are sometimes called by the ones that have to use them, public pretenders. Most just want you to play out and get it over with. They don't want to spend the time or money required to put on a proper defense. The justice system is tilted toward the rich. We poor folk have no chance in today's justice system. The Sixth Amendment is under attack with the left wanting to slow down trials. Just look at what the Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, did with the articles of impeachment against President Trump, slowing down the trial. Another clear case of the left making its own rules and laws. and a violation of the Sixth Amendment. I completed and published a detailed podcast about justice in America that has a complete account of the speedy trial nonsense and the major causes of them. Please listen to it. There's especially important information about the lack of justice in our beloved country. On a side issue, I contend we need to have a convention of states. There is a grassroots movement to have one. You will find out at their website, www.conventionofstates.com, more about them. In case you have not heard, a convention of states is a constitutional way for the people to amend the Constitution without going through Congress, and can be found in the Constitution under Article 5. Convention of States is sometimes called an Article 5 convention. Here's a complete copy of Article 5. It reads as follows. Congress, whenever 2/3 of both houses shall deem it necessary, shall propose amendments to this Constitution, or on the application of the legislations of 2/3 of the several states, shall call a convention for proposing amendments. That's the important part. Which, in either case, shall be valid in all intents and purposes as a part of this Constitution, when ratified by the legislations of 3/4 of the several states, or by convention in 3/4 thereof, as the one or other mode of ratification may be proposed by the Congress, provided that no amendment which may be made prior to the year 1808 shall have in any manner affect the first and fourth clauses in the 9th section of the first article, and that no state, without its consent, shall be deprived of its equal suffrage in the Senate. Part of the agenda is term limits for Congress, a balanced budget. If the national budget is not balanced, they don't get paid. What an incentive. But there's a lot more to their agenda. You need to look at their website, which I'll give to you again in here in just a second. I believe we have 15 or 16 states calling for a convention of states. We need 34, so we're just about halfway there. It takes 36 states to ratify the proposed amendments. Pretty close numbers. Again, here is their website, www.conventionofstates.com. Thanks for listening to the show. This is Dale. I hope you liked it. Leave a comment at my website if you did, or if you didn't. Either way is okay with me. https://coffee-time-again.com, or at the show's website, https://coffee-time-again.lisbon. That's Lisbon, LIBSYN.com/website. Also, please consider becoming a patron of the show. And yes, this link does work, so if you decide to become a patron, there's perks. www.patreon.com/coffee_time_question_fan_landing=true. And all three of these links will be on the website at the show's notes. And thank you again for listening. This has been Dale. Enjoy the time, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Thank you for listening to his rants and raves. There are show notes and a place to comment at https://coffee-time-again.com. He hopes that you liked what you heard and will tell others about him. Dale is attempting to get a following that both agrees and disagrees with him. He does not want a yes man. If you disagree, wonderful. Dale is happy to have you here as a part of the Coffee Time Again team. He does not want to talk about the news of the day. He is attempting to give a history lesson that is just as important about what is going on as the headlines of the day. Please do not hesitate to contact him. Just remember that Dale wants a clean show, meaning no cussing, name-calling, yelling, or hate allowed. You can disagree with Dale and not be disagreeable about it. If you have an idea for a show, just send him an email at host@coffee-time-again.com or on the comments at the show's website at https://coffee-time-again.com.